Mombasa, because you went to Mombasa in October 2021, right? Yes. So your output is 4% as compared to 7% that is expected of you. And there is also no evidence that there is any concerted effort to clear a backlog, both in the station you are currently serving and the one you are serving before. In Nakuru, we have about 38% of your cases over 3 years old. That is Mombasa, 38% over 3 years old, and in Nakuru, 30% over 3 years old. That's backlog. And then in Mombasa, your case clearance rate is 78% as against the national average of 83. Your productivity in Mombasa is 337 against the national average of 529. In Nakuru, 58% case clearance rate as against 83 national average, and productivity 477 as against 529. So what do you think is happening? Because I heard you as you're engaging with my brother, Commissioner Judge Majanja, you sit for long hours, you have these strategies in place, but the results are not showing. Where do you think is the problem?
Maybe I'll first of all start by explaining the situation. There are about 3 interventions that I would explain. Number one is that, of course, when you go to a new station, matters would have to mature before you resolve them. So that took a bit of time. Then number 2, there's a category of matters which were not captured. That is the matters which I did in Nakuru, but when I concluded them, had been transferred to Mombasa. The reason is the CTS account for Nakuru had been closed and a new one opened in Mombasa. So these matters could not be posted against my performance in Mombasa. That took a bit of time, a bit of marks off. And then maybe, if I have to disclose, I suffered a little bit in August, September. I got COVID, so it took a bit long to recover. Otherwise, my performance would be much, much better.
Okay. Another thing I want to ask you is what you do for community service and why you do that.
For community service, I do quite a bit. I'm very active in our school alumni, where we assist disadvantaged students who are admitted to that school in terms of raising fees. I'm also very active in my local church, where we do construction projects in that for the church. I do it out of my heart. I think that I at least to give back to society.
Okay. You've not answered why you think you need to do that. Why do you do that?
It's giving back to society.
Giving back to society. Okay, I didn't hear that bit, sorry. The other question I want to ask you concerns your conduct. Again, when you're engaged, you are being engaged by my sister Commissioner Professor Mugenda. You said image is important in the work of a judge. So out there, how do you carry yourself, especially in respect to litigants who appear before you in court? How do you conduct yourself?
I'm very courteous to them. I listen to them. I'm very impartial. I don't push people.
I'm not talking about in court, outside court.
But I don't interact with litigants outside.
At all?
No.
At all? No. Okay. The reason I'm asking you this is because of the reports we have on your background. They say you have good administrative skills. You solve the problem of missing files in Nakuru, which is good. You fast-tracked pending matters. You have good control of your court, and you sit for longer hours, just like I was said earlier. You write well-reasoned judgment. You are respectful and you have a good temperament, just like you have said. But the concern that was brought to our attention is that you have inappropriate contact with litigants in your court, which leads people to begin to wonder what exactly is going on. I don't know what you want to say about that.
Unless there are specific cases, I don't do that. How do you do that?
Okay, I do not have much more to ask you. Your application is complete. Everything is in order. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Honorable Rudy, for that interaction. Before we bring the interview to an end, we would like to ask you to ask us a question if you have any.
I'll only thank you for offering me this chance to appear before you, and I pray that you give me the opportunity to serve. I'll do my best.
Yes, thank you very much. We wish you well. We'll be in touch when we finish the exercise.